this could have changed before.
Today we are visiting one place where two massively different events took place. One, we are visiting what was labeled as Hitler's ideal town, and in the same place a massive, well-preserved Cold War GDR communication bunker is located. Let's do this in the chronological order, starting with 1935. Alt Rehse was a quiet, rural community before the new German government transformed it into a training center. The estate with its lakeside manor, parkland, traditional cottages was all repurposed in 1935 under direction of Martin Bohrmann, on direct instruction from Hitler himself, at least according to the Independent. Anyway, a Führer school was established here to instruct doctors and medical personnel, including nurses and midwives. The Führerschule der Deutsches Arzt, an institution of the National Socialist German Medical Association. It existed here from 1935 to 1943. It served here as the World Ideological Training Center and was the central institution of the NSDAP for the ideological instruction of German physicians during the time of National Socialism. At Alt Rehse, its Hartmannsbund acquired by expropriation in 1934, it became an association of chest medical doctors. It was then gradually redesigned by the architect Hans Hadenkampf from 1935, envisioned to have a model character for comparable facilities of the Nazi order's castles. And after the planning for the construction, he opted for a rural and traditional German farming style. In addition to the school and lecture building, a model village was then also created in half-timbered construction. The topping out ceremony took place in October 1934, and the first training courses began in May 1935, with official opening in January 1935. The task of the school was not the professional training or further education of doctors and professionals in the medical field, but the ideological training of selected managers in the health sector, and thus the development of an elite under National Socialist selection of medical professions. This should serve to enforce National Socialist health policies, including racial hygiene. The school and the village at Alt Rehse, which was accordingly redesigned, had a pronounced ideological and architectural symbolic character. The founder, first director of the institution, was Hans Deutschel. At the turn of the year 4041, Johannes Petret succeeded Deutschel at the last head as well. From 1937 to 42, the eugenist and SA doctor Hermann Böhm trained physicians here. The Reizarztkammerein, the field of hereditary biology and racial care, and their biological research institute was located here at Alt Rehse. It's estimated that around 14 training courses was held each year, with around 100, later 130 participants, resulting in an estimated total of around 12,000 participants, including the 10,000 doctors. That meant that around 1 in every 6 doctors in Germany at the time attended training here. The duration of the courses was 7 to 10 days, and from 1936 there was also a 4-week course for so-called young doctors, which were credited to be practical years as part of their training. The content of the course included legal topics such as the role of the doctor in Nazi education, the Nuremberg laws, military medicine, aspects of gas protection, and medicine tactics, racial biology and hereditary teachings, as well as naturopathy and nutritional problems. Part of the course programming was also a labor service, so the young doctors were called upon to build the roads here in the area, the daily routine including morning sports. Between June 1935 and the end of August 1939, at least 73 courses, conferences, and courses were held here at the Führerschule. At the outbreak of the war, the school was converted to a military hospital in 1939 and again in 1941, and from there onwards. The leader school of the German Medical Association was also used for courses for midwives, pharmacists, dentists, and other lay associates. Further documents of the school, such as the course plans and list of participants, are all considered missing. It is unclear whether they were destroyed or confiscated by the Red Army after 1945. Then, after the Second World War, the site was used by the Red Army until 1947, and from 1948 until 1952 it was then used as a children's village of popular solidarity for material ore, so once again more indoctrination in this poor village. I suppose from 1955 to 1958, the Ministry of State Security of the German Democratic Republic, GDR, used this site for its guard battalion and also as a leisure facility, and from 1958 it belonged to the National People's Army, NVA. After the German reunification, the Bundeswehr took over the facility in 1990. And that is the next part of the story. There is a very, very large bunker here. And it's not entirely clear when it was constructed, but we have some idea when it was last used. The bunker here served as a forward command and communication center for the military's District 6, covering northeast Germany. It was designed to coordinate military operations and maintain communication lines in the event of a conflict, particularly a nuclear war, given the GDR's strategic position on the front line of the Cold War. It was built used prefabricated U-shaped concrete arches, a very common technique for the Soviet bloc Cold War bunkers, due to its strength and efficiency. The bunker was semi-subterranean, providing protection against conventional and nuclear attacks. The bunker was equipped with advanced communication systems for the time, critical for coordination with other GDR and Soviet forces. It lightly utilized tropospheric radio systems, such as the BARS system, which was used by the Warsaw Pact, which allowed secure long-range communications even during nuclear disruptions. When it was constructed, we have no information about it other than that. But it's in great shape. I'm looking forward to showing you. Not a lot of people have been here to attack it yet. So it starts with rubble. And I'm not saying I'm that good yet, but I do think this looked like military rubble. Somehow, I think this was old German military area, maybe post-Russian, but there's a lot of red brick, so I think this was a German military area from before the Second World War. That looks like so many others taken over by the Russians. Since I have no idea exactly where I am, I'm just going to scale the rubble. This is actually quite nice. It's actually a nice tile. I'm going to break this stuff down. Alright, this might not be good, so I'll see you guys on the other side of this. This is an old Russian army road, right? This is not a German road. This is a military road. It could be both World War I, World War II, Cold War, and this very much looks like a vehicle shelter. So we'll just see what we find at the end. Not entirely clear where we are, but Rechlin is not that far, where a Russian Air Force was stationed after the war as well. So we'll see what we'll see. That's another built up mound, looked like a shelter over the field. This is all very military road-like. Old utilitarian. Seen this before. Here's another one. So, vehicles, heavy roads. We're expecting a bunker. So are you, judging from the title you probably saw bringing you here. And then there's this. That doesn't look like a natural element, does it? Well, I'm pretty sure even with a crowbar, that's not getting opened that way. I've seen a lot of Russian stuff before. This is not a traditional Russian blast door I've seen. You know you're going to have to go pull it anyway. May as well get it over. It's not going to happen, but give it a shot. Probably hasn't moved in 50 years. Well, I told you you had to go pull it. I just didn't expect you to actually open the damn thing. That is a big vehicle shelter. Damn good shape too. No graffiti, nothing. It's Russian. We know that. Well, Russian and East German. Didn't they sort of build roughly the same way? Wow. Everything is still here intact. Even the damn fuse box is here. This does not look like it has been abandoned for very long. We can both hear him opening the door back there, can we?
We know how they work.
That is terminally locked. So that's all on the other side. I've never seen this much stuff in any of these before. If this was an abandoned, well, this was a military area, but it must have been abandoned very recently. Because there's too much here for what there usually is. But is it not a vehicle shelter? You can't drive a car in through that door, or drive a truck. You can't get an LKV through there. Yeah, I mean, there's a little wooden back, but there's not an actual drive. If this were for vehicles coming out, there would have been a ramp built in. Yeah. There was a cemented ramp. Mm. Okay, so we go to the other side. One door is bigger than the other. It's amazing how well balanced these huge doors really are. And you had hooks for the camouflage nets. So this was obviously camouflaged, and it's definitely Cold War. All right, another walkway here, do another one in there. Looks the same. This is in the same. This is in the same hill. It is. They are. So there's rooms underneath there.
So, looks like we're lucky then.
Well, let's see. Let's see if you can open it. I had doubts. Oops.
There's something inside.
I don't like that. Somebody's storing their lawn furniture in here. Most likely used for these huge vehicle hauls was for radar and antenna vehicles to be able to go from here into the field and have mobile communication units situated here but able to deploy from here. This is in exceptionally good shape. Ooh. I think the little room can wait a minute. Here's the one that's closed. I don't know why though.
Don't keep everything open. The last one. Oh, I see it.
Overpressure. I mean, I'll say we don't really need to work on a closed door now we're already inside.
But wait. Just a second.
Moscow. Yes. On top is the emergency exit. And here's another. These should be locked. Okay.
Ready?
And the handles too. A little hard to see, but handles too. I love this. All right.
Now,
Same thing this one here. Also lighting up. White light coming. So there's three of these hangars. There's three of these hangars.
okay.
And then there's the tunnel into the bunker here. But we definitely don't post where this is. If you take a look in the third one, you'll see why. This is as intact as I have ever seen a Russian bunker. This must have been maintained until recently. Emergency exit. So here are electrical terminals, 220, ventilation, lighting. You see what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna keep this discreet because I don't want that to disappear from the city. It looks just like the German World War II one. And of course it is also made by Germans. So it's probably exactly the same. Got the ventilation room up here. Ventilation up here. In here. Yep. You put the gas filter here. Filtration. Although, interestingly enough, I don't see any white or green or clean air here. As I would expect it to. That's actually rather strange. You know what's strange about these? There's no red or green for clean air, bad air, and there should be. So this is probably the one here. There's another one of these. This is like almost new.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's certainly well maintained. They did not leave this a long time ago.
No.
But you should see what I mean in the other one.
Yeah.
That's nice city stuff that they should probably have locked.
Yeah.
Not just have it sitting there. That's where we came in. Yeah, that's where we came in there. Maybe the keys are in here still. I mean, the only thing they took is the heaviest cables, electricity, so this even still moves. I mean, I've never seen an old Cold War bunker in this good shape before. I'm dying to know when they moved out of this.
This one.
Yeah. That's all the aero I've seen so far. So these two rooms will provide ventilation for the entire installation. I can't help myself. I mean, this is... I wonder if this was... Should have been open, maybe?
It is. Everything is lighting.
Huh?
Everything is still lighting.
Yeah.
Phosphorus color. Great.
I know, it's like they maintained this until yesterday. It certainly looked like they did.
I've attached it a little bit wobbly.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. I know, I saw that.
There you have just markings blue for the lift.
At least
And then other for fresh air.
I would... Do you think the West German army used this since '93? Because it really doesn't look like it's been sitting here since '93.
No. Looks like the leaf yesterday.
Yeah. Ventilation still up there.
Do you think Thomas knows about this? I mean,
I don't know.
he said he found a new bunker somewhere, but he wasn't asking me. We could have a look later.
I like that sound. Ooh. Holy crap. Okay, so scrappers have been here.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they only took what I assume is the dropper. So, electrical computer room? Could... 76.
Yeah, 1977. These little transformators here.
I mean, just because the equipment was installed in 76 doesn't mean they stopped using it. In fact, most military equipment is quite old, especially with the procurement process as lame as it is for the German military. It could take them decades. What, did it take 10 years for the Germans to pick new helmets and they haven't done it yet? I mean, with no disrespect to my German colleagues, but you politicians are really letting you guys down. Well, if you want to know what this is, here's the Montageanleitung. How to... This is exceedingly interesting. I would love to have seen a date on this thing. Jeez.
It's not so small.
Nope.
Can you turn everything? That's the buttons.
What I really don't understand is that there wasn't even signs that we could go in here.
No.
There's nothing of like guard company or something. There's nothing.
Nothing. Like I said, this place, thought maybe you'll have seen before.
I think you're right. If they had, it would probably be filled with graffiti and look like crap. Damn. Okay, so this is the bigger ventilation room, I am imagining, which is also all here. Let's see what we found upstairs. Nice roomy staircase. Starting to rust a little bit here. Getting a little better up here to the surface.
Washrooms.
Water tank?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sanitäranlage, Kaltwasserleitung. Urinal. Okay, we don't need to fill in the bathrooms. Some of you guys might be eating or something. Just holy crap. This is a little bit of everything. Ventilation again. There's an extraordinary amount of ventilation here.
Present entrance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The hidden one, that's right. And that's locked from the outside.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that. I mean, Jesus, people, seriously. Huh. Well, whatever it is, it was number 5. Decided that we didn't need to fill in the toilets.
What happened to the door? It used to be open on the other side.
Well, I guess someone could take the steel door.
Yeah.
And, well, they accepted this one. But they're all still here.
Birds.
Lots of birds.
Security birds.
Sign people in, maybe. Here's another one. It's great that I'm just saying that the lock's not doing you guys a whole lot of good when they're sitting here. I wonder what the hell this was. Data center, but there's a lot of... I don't want to guess. It's Cold War. Don't know anything about it.
Air conditioning.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Right. This must have been used since Frischluft 1. The signs. These signs are not GDR. These are not GDR terms. I don't think. During that time they used a different...
Tiny light of this looks so cool.
I mean, it really does.
I love it.
If I ever build the house I want, I'm going to do this in the house.
Yeah.
Basically, paint it with radioactive isotopes. Who am I kidding? It wasn't like I'm going to have children anyway. Oh, this is a shower. That's what that was. I have determined for all our viewers' sanity and safety that we're not going to film the toilets.
I did it.
Well,
They're slippery there. Staircase.
I don't keep being, so there might have been a crane here. Lovely Cold War colors. Well, since he says this is more a ship situation, we'll back our way down here. And this is sort of ship situation. Now, it is starting to rust a bit, so it has been abandoned for some time.
This tank is from 1980. 1980.
80. Oil tanks? Hang on, it's still interesting in here. supply the pump station. Cooling water tanks. That's why it doesn't smell of any kind of gasoline or diesel. This is insulation. The actual tank is inside. This is different, like very different, like
Any idea?
How this is different. I ain't never seen this shit before.
But inside it looks like a command center or something. Go to the other door, it's easier.
These insulation. Yeah, the walls are insulated. Oh, there's a little command.
Prisons?
Huh?
Prisons?
I did.
And I usually have this little thing here. Something inside.
I mean, I would say this could also be a commander's hatch.
Yeah.
And you would have to lock on the outside if it was a prison. I would think. But let's see what's on the wall. Yeah. There's a lot of technical
stuff.
Now seriously, if they're gonna keep their city artifacts, why not put them in here and then lock this? Yep. Make it a little harder. Hey, there's another one. I think that you're right, this is their command and control. With a little command room. Just odd that leads into the hallway where no one is actually permanently sitting to take the papers or what have you. This is a very interesting place.
I have normal doors with this cage stuff outside.
Yeah. And the interesting thing, the locks are on the outside.
Yeah.
Command center or whatever, the locks are on the outside. That sort of, yeah. I really want to know what's going on with this. I mean, would they put in, you know, a missile crew or someone, then they'd have to stay in here for, well, okay, no, wait a minute, there's also locks on the inside, but, all right, fine, thank God for that. I'm starting to get a little.
See a little bit outside.
Yeah. It's just thick. What is it, asbestos? Huh.
Can't pick it up.
Is all this asbestos that we're walking around on?
Yeah, maybe yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm just checking. And there's another up on the other side, so it's basically identical on the other side. So, this. Lots of ventilation has went into this. So, they're identical. There's going to be maybe 3 more of the huge rooms. That's kind of what I thought through too.
Come on, look.
3 more.
Look at the walls.
Holy shit.
Look at the walls.
Was your mother's uncle? Or to your mother's uncle? This component is.
Well, don't know if it's period or what it is, but he's writing 1991. So the dude in here did put his name in, and here is the, jeez. So there's 3 more of these huge rooms. Hmm? Well, now we know where to get out without having to walk all the way around. Not that I mind going through this place here. Well, you think we can have it for a museum? We're only really far away from everywhere. Why can't they put these things like adjacent to a nice neighborhood? Restaurant, hotel, nice little museum in here, go next doors in the hot tub, you know, that kind of thing. There's not more writing in this, on these, just any kind of sign of something. So there's 6 of these huge rooms with a center in the middle. Damn, this is a real big thing. No entry. I'll put that up there. That has nothing to do with a ritual purpose or my shift. I think somebody slapped some of this crap up here for some strange reason.
For me, it's fascinating to see bunkers of hundreds of years and how they have evolved. And this is a lovely little village. Remember, places can still be nice, even if bad things happened in them. See you somewhere underground next week.
My name is Tino Struckmann. I run Lost Battlefields. Every year, I travel around the world to try to bring you to all the most interesting historical military locations from modern wars and the World War II special projects, battlefields, forts, fortresses, and tunnels, everything else. Things you may not be able to see or go to yourselves. Please join me on Patreon or join Lost Battlefields through the website so you get access to all my files and my notes. It really does help, and like, follow, share here on the channel if you can. That helps too.